his family alone. It doesn't take a daily attack on his wife, on his children, to remind him that you think his takes, or whatever it is the wrong.
Something tells me that Ryan Clark was told that he needed to apologize to RG3. Something just tells me that he was told to, and of course this right here is not really a sincere apology. However, it could be a sincere apology, not from the standpoint of I feel bad about what I did, but it could be a sincere apology from, damn, I was really and truly one hell of a dumbass when I decided to say what I said. Now, guys, before we go back in time and look at how this entire situation materialized and bring it back up to today, yes, I know that I'm a little bit late on this topic. By the way, I hope everybody had a good Memorial Day weekend. I hope you guys remember exactly why Memorial Day is Memorial Day. And, of course, it is for those who gave it all, as in those men and women who died in service to the nation. Okay, I just wanted to go ahead and just kind of say that before we fully dive into this. But, yeah, obviously a long weekend. Now, guys, real quick heads up. There'll be a couple of updates at the end of the video. Well, really just one. But I just want to kind of just give you guys a little bit of additional information. And also one more thing, too. Right now, as it stands, this right here is the only video of the week. I should be back probably on the weekend or maybe even next week. Going to be kind of busy, but also to go on top of that, it's also got to do with the project that I'm working on, which should be posted within the next week or two. I'll give you guys a little more information on that at the end of the video, so make sure you guys sit tight. But let's go ahead and get back on track here. Go ahead and get to this topic. Now, before we fully dig in, like, share, subscribe, all that type of stuff there, and let's go ahead and do this. So, how in the world did we actually get this? Well, if you guys remember correctly, in the last video, we discussed the whole Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese situation and how it was that Caitlin Clark fouled Angel Reese. And, of course, you had this back and forth between RG3 and, of course, Ryan Clark had to step in. And for some odd reason, because RG3 had his wife in the background, or Ryan Clark, felt the need to go after Robert Griffin III over his wife. Let's go ahead and get you guys caught up to speed with this. I'm going to play both these clips back to back.
Reese celebrated Kennedy Carter getting that flagrant foul on the hip check against Caitlin Clark. You remember that? On the sideline, just, yeah, baby, get her, you get her. Who celebrates like that for a flagrant foul on another player if they don't dislike that player? Okay, you want some more evidence? Here's some more evidence. Remember last year when they were talking about
black men who have chose to date or marry outside of their race? They always feel like they have to go the extra mile to prop up the woman that they're married or the woman that they're with over black women by denigrating black women. I feel like we should have an opportunity to move past that and understand that Angel Reese can be great in her own right, as Caitlin Clark is as well. Caitlin Clark is a likable and lovable superstar. She pays homage to the stars of the past. She pays homage to the black women that have come before her, and now she is carrying the mantle forward. So there's no need to pin those two against each other and paint.
Now, as you guys can obviously see, RG3's initial take was a sports take. That's going to come up a little bit later on, but bear that in mind. Kind of low, as you guys saw from Ryan Clark. But of course, you guys saw a little bit at the very, very beginning of this video that seems to indicate that Ryan Clark did in fact apologize. Now, I want to say this really quick before we go any further. If I did not clamp down on this particular topic hard enough, and I'm going to link this video here from Marcellus Wiley in the description box. I think he did a very good job of breaking this down as far as the whole hate factor in sports, because quite frankly, he's correct in the video. Hate is a word that we've been using for a very, very long time in the world of sports to kind of hype athletes up, hype rivalries, all that type of stuff there, even though Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark is not really an actual rivalry. It seems more to me like maybe RG3 is correct and maybe there is some actual jealousy there. Don't worry, we'll get back to the whole wife thing in a second. But believe it or not, in a roundabout way, even though I, for the most part, always disagree with this woman, she did get one part of what she had to say here correct. And I'm talking about Smelly Jameli Hill, who went on Dan Le Batard shortly after this entire thing broke out. And yeah, let's just listen to this real quick.
Pick up that Angel Reese has a personal hatred of Caitlin Clark. What I do pick up from Angel Reese, because she said it, and I like to go with the face value of what the athlete actually says, is I think she resents the fact that she can't have her separate story away from the Caitlin Clark drama. Like Caitlin Clark can have her separate story. Like when Caitlin Clark is in any press conference or whatever, unless she's playing Angel Reese or it's something specifically that they have done together that is happening in the moment, she is not asked about Angel Reese at all. She's asked about thousands of other things about her ability as a basketball player. Angel Reese is always routinely asked about Caitlin Clark.
I got to admit it. That's not exactly the worst take in the world. By the way, Jemele Hill, for some odd reason, I don't know if it's just the fact that she's light skinned or what, but the camera, the lighting, something, it always makes it look like she's turning white. Still, though, at the same time, though, I don't think she's entirely wrong there. I don't want to go too far off the topic here, but I do want to say this really quick. I remember when Angel Reese was doing that podcast with Shaquille O'Neal, I got a lot of frustration out of her. Anytime she's ever done interviews, she's always looked somewhat frustrated. Now, granted, I don't believe that her talent level is where Caitlin Clark's talent level is. And of course, if you guys remember correctly, it was the Women's National Championship game a few years ago where LSU played Iowa. It was Iowa State. I can't. You guys obviously see exactly how bad I can be, but obviously the Caitlin Clark-Angel Reese game, where most people looked at the antics of Angel Reese towards Caitlin Clark and they thought that it was a little bit annoying, like she was being mean-spirited. But obviously, I have to be fair here, which I normally am. Caitlin Clark had some antics earlier that year as well that people looked at and said, okay, she might be going a little bit too far with this. The truth be told is that these two aren't really and truly rivals. And I think that they've been built up as rivals, and it's possible that Angel Reese may be believing that they are rivals when in reality they're actually not. I mean, seriously, look at Caitlin Clark's paycheck compared to Angel Reese's paycheck. And I hate to tell you guys this, but Caitlin Clark's paycheck, she's worth that paycheck, where it is that Angel Reese is worth a much, much lower paycheck. That does not mean that she cannot be a great player someday. I'm just simply pointing out the obvious. But let's get back to Ryan Clark and RG3. So, guys, you obviously saw at the beginning exactly how this entire situation started. And I'm going to replay some of RG3, basically calling Ryan Clark out, just a little bit of it. By the way, I'm going to have to turn the volume of this clip a little bit more because for some odd reason, he just sounds very, very low. As like the volume just all kinds of messed up on the Twitter clip, but here you guys go.
Sports media for personal attacks. I've said it before, but certainly personal attacks against wife and children have always been off limits. Ryan, you attacked me and my family in a public forum on a level that shows just how low of a human being you are. You can disagree with me all you want. Challenge my takes, but keep my family and my wife out of it. That's a boundary that should always be respected, man. Always. Ryan Clark personally attacking me and my family because he disagreed with my sports opinion is a bad look for ESPN. It's cowardly, it's spineless, and it's weak. Ryan Clark personally attacking me and my family. Personally because he disagreed with my sports opinion is a bad look for him as a man. I hope you get the help you need, brother.
Agreed. Wife and kids should obviously be off the table. Just the way that it is. But to the people out there, and I'm going to say it one more time, and don't worry, I'll link the other video in the description box, the first one I did on this topic. He never called for Ryan Clark to lose his job. He never called for it at all. He just said that it was a bad look for ESPN, and you guys obviously heard at the very end that he would like for Ryan Clark to get some help. But of course, you got people out there, other channels, saying that RG3 was calling for Ryan Clark's job, when obviously that right there was not the case. Which brings us to the apology. Now, guys, this apology is roughly 2 minutes long. I want to play some of it, obviously break in like I normally do, and I'll tell you guys exactly what I think is going on here, but let us go ahead and get to that. This first one's about 39 seconds long, so let me go ahead and get to it.
I have been brought up in me trying to make a point about how having black women close to you and the things that you learn from them can help you in the way that you approach and speak to and about them. She didn't need to be the illustration of that. I could speak positively about what they are without making the insinuation that it's something that non-black women don't do well. I'm doing the exact same thing, or it may have seemed that I did the exact same thing to her that I'm trying to keep people from doing to black women.
Okay, but if you were brought up to not do that, then why'd you do it? It's as I said in the previous video, I think that there was a little bit of insecurity there, but I think it was mostly just him being dumb, as in not being self-aware, as in he did not think for 2 seconds that people would look into his past. That is what I think really triggered this entire situation as far as the apology is concerned. Whether ESPN told him, look, you need to apologize, I'm not going to go there just yet. And the reason why is because he obviously chose to apologize on his own show, the Pivot Podcast. There's still 2 more minutes to go. We're going to go ahead and get to that, but I wanted to go ahead and get the first 39 seconds out of the way, so let's go ahead and get back on track. Probably going to edit this matter down to roughly a minute, kind of split it in half, but here goes.
My thought process was, in seeing certain clips on my algorithm, on my timeline, they do a podcast together. In that podcast, they talk very openly about not being black enough. They talk very openly about biracial kids, what it's like to not be accepted in the black community. They very rarely talk about black women. In the video that RG3 posted that I felt like mocked Angel Reese, she was in the background. Did I love the optics of RG3, a black man, attacking and imitating and what I felt insulting, mocking a black woman as his wife was in the background, almost seemingly as a prop of, and this is my feeling, of what was good, amening, nodding along, and applauding what I felt like was a personal attack. I didn't.
Okay, now, right here you guys can see the original clip in the B-roll footage. And yes, she is obviously sitting on the couch with him. But here's the thing, though, and I don't really listen that much to RG3's podcast, but RG3, of course, has been married twice. It's his second wife. Not knocking him or anything. Both his wives have been white. Obviously, he's married too. But his wife is an athlete herself. Clark, do you think it's possible that maybe, like I had kind of insinuated in the last video, and I know that I'm saying Clark as in like if I'm actually sitting there talking to him, did you think maybe it's possible that his wife was like, you know what, I'm not thinking about race, I'm thinking about the sports itself, and I know the difference between hate and competition? I think that right there is the reason why it was that she was somewhat nodding along in the background. Now, real quick, I don't know who the hell wears the pants in the Griffin household. I'm assuming he does, even though I have made reference to the fact that when they interviewed Dana White, she seemed a lot more engaged when the conversation got to Donald Trump and what was going on in the country, which made me think that maybe it's possible that the two voted for obviously 2 different candidates, meaning RG3 voted for the Democrat, Kamala Harris, and his wife voted for Trump. I felt that maybe that was one of the videos that I did recently on that, but it seemed, and I felt in that piece right there that maybe she might have a little bit more pull in the household, but then again, though, he could also just be a genuinely nice guy inside the house. Married guys, if you want to comment in the comment section and tell me how far off I am, please do so, or if there's something bad on the way, please do so. I'd love to hear what you guys have got to say. Still, though, the point is this right here. I don't think that his wife was looking at this through the lens of race, or if she even knew that, I think she would probably have a little bit more self-awareness about that. I think the only person who decided to jump the race here was obviously you. Let me tell you what I think at. When he talked about somebody scrolling up and down, him scrolling up and down Twitter, I don't think that he was scrolling up and down Twitter seeing stuff from their podcast. I think what the hell was going on was that people were promptly reminded him that you're nobody to talk, that you were into the Snow Bunnies at one point in time, and your daughter, one of your daughters, is a result of that. So it's possible that in a very, very rare moment of self-awareness, of course, after he had done the deed, that Ryan Clark might have said, yeah, this right is maybe a bad look. But there's still 59 more seconds to go, so let's go ahead and finish it off.
mean because I have that feeling about what you do to someone else, that I can do that to you. So, to Greta, I was out of line. I was out of bounds. I apologize. To all of the people that don't like RG's take or takes or the way that he moves, or even if you just in this conversation take my side and want to support me, leave his family alone. It doesn't take a daily attack on his wife, on his children, to remind him that you think his take, his takes, or whatever it is the wrong thing to you. Families should be off limits. I started that by bringing her into it. I see that now. No matter what my intent was, the impact was different. If I had to do it all over again, I would do it.
Now, given Ryan Clark's personality, given Ryan Clark's takes, I'm going to go ahead and say this really quick. And like I said, if you disagree, please leave it in the comment section. I would love to hear what you guys have got to say. But the thing is, here's the thing. I don't think that there's that many people who follow Ryan Clark that are attacking RG3. I just don't. If anything, it seems more to me like the people, let's just say, I think that people kind of sided with RG3 on this, or else you would not be making this apology. If people had sided with Ryan Clark, obviously they would still, they would stand, Ryan Clark would stand on his principle. He would stand on his ground, which I don't think he really has any real principles, but still, though, he would stand his ground in the situation. I think he apologized because most of the viewing audience pointed out the hypocrisy. By the way, a lot of the people who are pointing out the hypocrisy don't really like RG3 either. RG3 was a bit of a wokester himself. His wife seems like she's good to go, as in like she's probably pretty well based. She is from Eastern Europe, and it's much, much more conservative over there. But still, though, the point is this right here. I personally don't believe that they did this out of sympathy for RG3. I think that, if anything, people protested because they realized that Ryan Clark, once again, had no self-awareness. Didn't even bother to think about the fact that, hey, look, I was in the Snow Bunnies at one point in time, too. I was into the White Girls. I had that white muff, white chocolate, whatever you might want to call it, and I got a mixed child. I think that is what the hell happened. I think it was a complete, total lack of self-awareness. But then again, though, there was also Stephen A. Smith going to bat for him at one point in time. Me personally, I don't think ESPN had anything to do with this. If anything, it was probably someone like, say, Stephen A. or somebody he worked with said, look, man, it might be a good idea if you apologize here because this really and truly is not a good look. It's not so much not a good look for ESPN. It's really more of a bad look for Ryan Clark. And that, my friends, is exactly what I think happened here. I think he apologized due to his own stupidity and finding out that he was stupid and his own hypocrisy. And I think that obviously that right there is what happened. And also to go on top of that, there's also the whole conversation about black men who are married to white women losing their standing in the black community, or like in the case of someone like Shannon Sharp, who recently got caught or is now being sued by a Lily White girl. Yeah, I think that right there had something to do with it. Now, guys, I want to give you guys one very, very quick update, and then I want to go ahead and head on. And this video here, of course, will be out tomorrow afternoon. It's the only video that's been planned for Wednesdays. Right now, it's the only video planned for this week. Let me go ahead and kind of break down the reason why. Okay, guys, I'm behind. I am behind on this project. The script is written out. I've already got most of the clips and stuff that I would need, music, all that type of stuff there, but I'm a little bit behind. So I'm going to take the next 3 or 4 days and try to go ahead and get this thing done. By the way, I'm not just doing one project. I'm also doing really a second project because there's going to be another project coming out pertaining to that project because it's the same film. That'll be out on Gear Issue 33, as well as the video that I've been kind of delayed on, which of course was the Nick Irving video, the response to him. I will leave a link to Gear Issue 33 in the description box. I'm probably going to change the name of it to Crusty Old Vet, but then again, though, I may leave up Gear Issue 33 at least for the first couple of videos for search purposes. Either way, though, the video will be linked in the description box. The channel will be linked in the description box. The project that we're working on was Full Metal Jacket. What was the point behind the film? That right there is going to be the one that's going to be posted here and also on Gear, but there's going to be a book versus the film, as in source material, basically book comparison. It's also going to be a Gear as well, and that's actually going to be multiple parts because there's going to be multiple different videos discussing that actual video and the source material itself. So yeah, I'm a little bit behind. I'm not going to lie to you guys. You guys know me. I always let you guys know what the hell is going on here. Just taking an additional second. I'm going to need a few days because obviously I'm a little behind. but I'm close to actually getting it done. Now, as far as the video when it gets done, when I'm going to post it, chances are it'll be posted probably the weekend, but of course I want to push it out 2 more weeks after it's posted before it actually becomes visible. The reason why, of course, is obviously to get through the copyright checks, because if you do video essays, you use video clips, and by the way, this was Warner Brothers, who was the studio that distributed the film. Yeah, getting by copyright can be a bit of a pain, so I typically tend to try to leave it up for an additional week or so that way it can have its opportunity to get through copyright, or at least I have an opportunity to at least fight back on a copyright claim, so that way the video itself can still make money. That right there being said, though, if you guys can still, please hit the like button, subscribe, share. Also, one more thing too, it's not like I'm just going to go completely dark. There will be videos posted in that time frame, but right now at this moment in time, it looks like this right here is probably going to be the only one that gets released for the week, and it's kind of interesting because it's going to be on a Wednesday. So yeah, just letting you guys know that. Please hit the like button, subscribe, share the video, tell me your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you guys later.